Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. This is an insane story. The XRP cryptocurrency meltdown has made headlines recently. $2.1 per verifiable bit. Getting out of long-term investments. It is now possible to time travel without ever leaving the year 2013. I can't recall a time when XRP was so inexpensive. In fact, I think I saw it as low as 0.2 of a penny once. However, there are 3 zeros followed by a 1. It doesn't get any lower than that. I can't imagine it being cheaper than that. As a result, long holdings were liquidated on that exchange. Can you imagine how terrifying and infuriating this must have been for people? It happened on one of the few remaining centralized exchanges in the United States from which you can still buy XRP, and that exchange was BitChute. This would mean that Uphold and GitHub are BitTrue. If I'm not mistaken, they are the only 3 US-based centralized exchanges where XRP is for sale. Not the best scenario, but at least I don't have an account with any of the 3, and this has happened with one of them. They've always been very outspoken in their backing of XRP and the community surrounding it. So, let me fill you in on what went down. However, this just occurred today. The price of XRP plummeted from whatever it was, maybe the high 40-cent range, to 0 cents. In addition, there is some reason for me to be pessimistic about the long-term viability of the US dollar as a global reserve currency, and I'd want to share that with you. Take a look at this Eyewitness Guru headline: Chinese yuan tops US dollar in China's overseas trade. I learned of this because of a tweet by attorney John Deaton, who in 2016 explained the rationale behind his initial investment in XRP. That means he has more experience in the XRP industry than I do. At the year's conclusion, I decided to join them. And it's kind of related to something I did a long vlog about like 3 or 4 days ago. But there's also another reason why I'm an XRP holder. And it's not just about XRP usefulness per se. It also depends on the context in which you're discussing it. We know the monetary policy of XRP on the XRP ledger, we know how the system works, we can read the code, and all we have to do is believe that cryptography works because it is decentralized. Therefore, in my opinion, this is something of genuine worth that governments should let alone. For this and many more reasons, I plan to keep my XRP for the foreseeable future. Consequently, I keep it here for a number of reasons. And this only serves to emphasize, the United States dollar is the source of his low standing, and things are only becoming worse as time goes on. After all, the dollar is losing its prestige and authority. It won't remain the world's reserve currency forever, and I don't see much else changing either. As long as it keeps trending in that manner, I'll be even more committed to my crypto holdings. But before we go any further, I should clarify that I have zero backing from the banking sector. You shouldn't purchase or sell anything based on what I say, and I'm not a financial advisor. Just a hobbyist here that occasionally posts films to YouTube on various crypto-related topics. Okay, so when exactly did someone bring up the subject of the value of XRP plummeting on a major exchange? On the futures permanent market at BitTrue, a leading Singapore-based exchange, the price of XRP momentarily dropped to 0.1 cents today, prompting the liquidation of most long bets in the asset. Users quickly recovered from the loss, but not before they had effectively liquidated most of their XRP long bets on the exchange. Bill Morgan and Australian XRP advocates made the public aware of the decline today. Several BitTrue customers complained on Twitter, prompting attorney and crypto enthusiast Morgan to reveal the situation. Morgan claims in his tweet that XRP fell 2.1, while evidence from a large number of user images shows that it fell as low as 0.1. Therefore, there are now 3 zeros instead of 2 zeros before today's asset recovery. According to market participants, the exchange did not execute any buy orders at 0 cents, hence the bug did not allow users to exploit the crash. Some clients have called it a bug, while others have claimed it was on purpose. These theories have gained traction because BitTrue has yet to provide a public statement on the topic, even though it has been hours after the incident. Unfortunately, several hours went by with no news from the traitor, which was a major disappointment. You'd think that the company would at least admit the problem, launch an investigation, and promise to make amends to affected customers by this point. just that I'm shocked it took as long as it did. It seems like it should have been simple enough to go back and say, yeah, we better fix that one right away. And in the end, Butcher was correct. Just so you know, they have their clients wait indefinitely. The world will not perish because of this. But the longer you make the customer wait for a response, the more anxious they will become. If only they had acted a little sooner, that would have been great. Here, though, is the official retort of bitchiness. Sunday, April 26, 2023. Due to a system error between 715 and 716 UTC, some XRP and UST orders were processed at the wrong prices and with the wrong quantities. The following are the steps Butcher will take to fix the problem. First, the margin amount for any trades done between 715 and 716 UTC will be restored to the accounts of those affected. Users who have had their accounts liquidated will receive an email detailing their losses and a reimbursement of any margin funds they have on deposit. That's the second thing. Third, the final XRP settlement price will be set at 4,696. That comes to 46 cents on a basis of around 47. Our sincerest apologies for any problems this may have caused. The screenshot was captured at 7:15 UTC. No other details than that have been revealed. That, though, is probably fine. They should be commended for finally doing anything about it. Nonetheless, Jude? To be honest, I have never heard of anything like this occurring with XRP before, having spent more than 5 years working in the industry. Now, I'm aware of some wild occurrences on the exchanges, some strange bugs, and also yeah, I've seen some stuff. Contrarily, I haven't seen it yet. This was undoubtedly a first-time occurrence. Well, let's move on to the next topic. A few hours ago, the Watcher Group tweeted, "Just in Chinese yuan overtakes US dollar as most used currency in China's cross-border transactions for the first time in history." This was a tweet shared by attorney John Deaton from Watcher Guru. The more I watch the US dollar lose its preeminence, the happier I am knowing that I have something the government can't mess up. In regards to the code, I'm aware that the Biden administration is launching a full-scale attack on crypto. At the moment, I understand that the SEC plays a significant role in it. But I doubt they'll be happy with the jennies that have already been released, and they certainly won't be able to make being involved in crypto as challenging as you'd like. In addition, attorney John Deaton has said that getting the incumbents elected is a key aspect of the approach. Good luck in either case, though, because I need my XRP. Since I'll spill the beans, I'm aware of this. Many people would agree that they have misplaced their private key if they believe that someone is truly trying to get into their home in order to steal their keys. So, what exactly are your plans? Let's assume that I'm correct in what I'm stating, and that it is impossible to ban crypto anywhere. This means that the proposal to put money from foreign investors into the United States would be blocked. This whole idea is completely absurd. But since the US dollar is slowly losing its significance, that's not so good. The government can't make a mistake with it because they can't, put it onto a balloon or anything, and I don't see why I wouldn't want to have that. John Deaton, a lawyer, retweeted that. And he added, "I bought XRP in 2016 because of its potential application in international settlements. When Coinbase added XRP and promoted its usefulness in 2019, I made more purchases. As China weakens its demand for the US dollar, the US attacks rather than adopts the crypto's utility." Then he sent over this snapshot of the screen. This is simply an advertisement for Coinbase that features XRP. You can send XRP or UST to any Coinbase user anywhere in the globe who has an account, as evidenced by the text. Now we get the value of XRP. Furthermore, it is the top cryptocurrency for making purchases. Right. As far as I'm concerned, that's just an indisputable fact of life. The more I witness chaos unfolding elsewhere, the more grateful I become that I invested in cryptocurrency. I'm aware that the price of cryptocurrency tends to follow the movements of the stock market for the time being. Nonetheless, this fact does not alter my perspective on money or my desire to continue holding cryptocurrency because it gives me the freedom to do with it what I choose. Even if that doesn't fit with the way the rest of the Even if everyone in the world sees it, I still want to keep it for that same reason. In addition, I'm not sure it will always be treated the same as stocks. As time goes on, we'll watch how this asset class develops. But I won't be clinging to the past any longer. Now for the big news, the Chinese yuan now outpaces the US dollar in China's international trade. According to data compiled by Bloomberg Intelligence from the State Administration of Foreign Exchange, the share of domestic currency in China's outbound financial transactions hit a new high of 48% by the end of March, up from virtually nothing in 2010. The data showed that the dollar share dropped from 83% to 47% over the same time period. And if you're interested, there's a graph on the screen. See how the dollar is dropping as you turn up the volume. We can officially mark this as the first occurrence of its kind in human history. Do people find this trend concerning? I mean, I know it doesn't imply the dollar's going to crash or anything, but still. I, for one, am not a believer in such nonsense. But what I'm trying to argue is that it's so devalued that it's doomed to fail. This is the first time such widespread misuse of currency has occurred in human history. So, I can't say how long it will take. Whether or not that will occur during my lifetime is anyone's guess. Furthermore, the US dollar's fall has never been seen before. Not implying that it can't or won't happen. There are occasions when something occurs for the very first time. Check out this piece I found in the Daily Huddle. Chinese efforts to unseat the US dollar's top economic advisor nomination at the White House have been documented. Like I said a few days ago, this is just another reason for me to keep my Bitcoin holdings. Economist and top Biden appointee Lawrence H. Summers claims there is proof China is working to dethrone the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. The nominee for chair of the Council of Economic Advisers, Jared Bernstein, said as much during his confirmation hearing, adding that the United States would be worse off if the dollar were the world's reserve currency. Bernstein, who served as Vice President Biden's main economic advisor, argues that the United States should do all it can to keep the dollar as the world's reserve currency. So, yes, I have arrived in the USA. Sure, why not? Everyone, if you're reading this from outside the United States, you probably don't like this very much. However, if you live in the United States and your government controls the global reserve, wouldn't you rather it be your country than someone else's? I'm only pointing out that while it might be true that this is always the case, the future might see a cryptocurrency or several cryptocurrencies take on this function instead. What utter rubbish, though. I'm going to read this quote now, and part of what he said just burns my biscuits because he emphasizes the necessity of doing everything possible to keep the US dollar in its position as the world's reserve currency. Of course, he might look at it differently, but I don't think it's a good idea that he's advocating for policies that devalue the currency. Here's a quote you should read. Having the reserve currency's benefits is advantageous for a number of reasons, including national security, in my opinion. Sanctions are an extremely noticeable example. However, there are benefits to having control of the world's reserve currency beyond the ability to apply sanctions with significant impact, as we have done with Russia. And this, folks, is where I simply roll my eyes as I read it. He adds, quote, one thing we could truly do to help both the dollar preserve its reserve currency status and to defend the value of the dollar would be to lift the debt ceiling. Oh, for the love of God, what is wrong with the idiots that think this way? Check out this. The debt ceiling, shown above in black, has remained mostly unchanged over the decades. Neither raising nor lowering the ceiling has had any discernible effect on government spending. It's not typical of them to act like that. Simply, they increase the limit on the national debt. So, you have no real ceiling because, for decades on interior, every time you strike it, you just raise it. This is a mistake since, contrary to popular belief, the United States Treasury is not experiencing a shortage of revenue. There is no shortage of funds. There is a problem with expenditures. The jackass needs to stop spinning and just stop, but of course that's not going to happen. What with entitlement programs and all, I blew through them all. So then what do? Raise the debt by printing more of those worthless dollars. Can you even fathom managing your own home in such a manner? Not at all. There seems to be no hope of ever paying off the obligations. Since blue represents Democrats and red represents Republicans, it's clear that the insolvency of the United States government is a bipartisan problem that has built up over decades. And Eric Voorhees, creator of Bitcoin exchange Shapeshift, retweeted this with the comment, "Debt cap is kinda like government accountability or unicorns, i.e. not a real thing." Exactly. That was exactly my point a moment ago. They say there is a debt ceiling, which is true technically but not in practice. Because every time it comes up, I'd rather pay the extra money than figure out how to stop spending so much. The more I consider this, the more I realize that this celebration can't last forever. No doubt about it. Sort out your own affairs. For fear that the government might. That's why, when it comes to my personal wealth, all that really matters to me is maintaining a diverse portfolio. Moreover, crypto. For me, it's an integral part of that and will remain such. I plan to watch it for a while and see how it's handled. But I know that even now, with cryptocurrencies just following stocks in a general sense, that even if there is absolute catastrophe in the United States in the future and you're talking about losing USD global reserve status and who knows what that would fall out economically in the United States, well, if that could be a catalyst for crypto to start behaving differently. If that's the case, then give me the limelight. That's just another incentive for me to keep it on hand, just in case. And if the crash doesn't come, and crypto keeps moving in the same direction as equities for the next decade, or 2, or 3, that's good, too. The upward trend is quite cool. And there is a lot less cash in crypto than there is in stocks. Therefore, the return on investment is greatly amplified in comparison to, say, more conventional forms of finance. I'm not picky, but either way, this is completely insane and should not be happening. Don't continually asking for more money to service the loan. Reduce your outlays immediately. And again, no sane person would ever allow themselves to be in charge of their own home in such a way. This is how we will govern the entire nation. The lack of it really irritates me. I am not a certified financial planner. Nothing they say should influence your buying or selling decisions. Please hit that like button and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.